helping? You gonna help me? Oh, I love you too.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there guys, so it's that time of year where I do my top 10 films of 2022, and I love doing these kind of videos because it is kind of a celebration of films that I've watched or experienced for the first time last year. And this, like every other year, this list was not easy to do. And before I go into my number 10, I do have some honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This is a gorgeous retelling of Pinocchio in a passionate way. I would say this is the definitive Pinocchio story. I mean, the stop motion animation is just beautiful. Guillermo del Toro has put his own spin on it, and I love the fact it's set in World War II, it touches on fascism, and the ending is bleak but very subtle. Prey is the best sequel, or in this case the best prequel to the Predator franchise, and it approaches of what made the first movie so great, and this deserved a theatrical release. My third honourable mention is Cha Cha Real Smooth, and this was so close on the list because it's such a charming story that is so relatable, and the film is about a guy who doesn't know what he's doing in life, and the way the film ended is so emotional, but yet it feels so natural and real. My fourth honourable mention is Bros, and this is my favourite romantic comedy of the year, and it's so underappreciated because it has everything you want from a romantic comedy. It has charm, satire, sexiness, drama, romance. My fifth honourable mention is RRR, an Indian movie that is so over the top, but yet it has such a unique style, music, imagery. At its core, the film has such an incredible story about friendship. So my last honourable mention is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I know it's on everyone else's top 10 list. I mean, I love the bonkersness to the movie, but also I love the joy and warmth of this family. And when it dives into the multiverse stuff, there's some really interesting thought-provoking stuff and some deep philosophy. And number 10 is The Northman. Robert Eggers' best film, in my opinion, is a simple bloodlust revenge story. And it's so visceral and it's set in a brutal time, but it doesn't undercut it. I find it interesting that it's set in Norse mythology, but also at the same time, Robert Eggers does his own spin on it. He gives it his own style. That kind of gives it that tripping balls kind of vibe to it. Great performances all around, whether it's Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Anna Taylor-Joy, Ethan Hawke. And number 9 is Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. This is such a warm hug from this adorable shell. It's a beautiful story about family and community with some touching moments. It may look like a silly kids movie, but it does cover some sad topics in a lovely and heartwarming way. And number 8 is The Batman, and I was going back and forth between this and Black Panther Wakanda Forever as the best comic book movie of the year, but The Batman does such a fresh approach on the iconic superhero. I mean, Gotham City is probably the most realistic we've seen. It's dark, it's brutal, it's dirty. Robert Pattinson as the Batman is probably the most human we've seen from The Dark Knight, and amazing performances all around, whether it's Colin Farrell's the Penguin, Paul Dano as the Riddler, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, but from a cinematography, atmosphere, sound design, costumes, Matt Reeves did an incredible job. At number 7 is Ali and Ava. This is a sensitive and engaging love story that feels so real with performances by Adil Akhtar and Claire Rushbrook. It's a very British film, everything from the location, the dialogue, and it captures it in a brilliant way. And the direction is arty and crisp with some good pacing. And number 6 is 13 Lives, based on a true story about divers in Thailand rescuing 12 young boys and their soccer coach trapped in a system of underground caves that are flooding. And even though we know the outcome to this, it still didn't stop me from becoming intense from beginning to end. I mean, it gets right into the core, into the rescue mission. I mean, it doesn't mess around, and it's not about fighting them because they found quite earlier. It's about how they get them out of the caves, and what they have to do is insane, unethical, illegal. This is top tier Ron Howard, and actors like Colin Farrell, Viggo Mortensen, Joel Edgerton carries this movie. It's a great grounded tale that is so intense and thrilling. At number 5 is The Menu. It's so weird and bizarre, and I love poking fun out of it in a good way. It has a strong ensemble cast Ralph Fiennes is the standout, easily one of the best performances of the year as this cynical, mysterious chef. Anna Taylor-Joy is incredible, but everything she's in, she's incredible, and it does a great job of balancing comedic but horror. But don't be fooled, it leads more into the thriller than the horror, and the film never takes itself too seriously, but it never cuts away from an intense or serious moment with cheap jokes. And number 4 is my favourite animated film of the year, and that's Turning Red. Easily one of the best Pixar films in the last 10 years. It still baffles me that this didn't get a theatrical release. The animation is unique and vibrant. The story itself is very heartfelt as well as its messages. It's a film that tackles puberty, overprotective parents and change, but tells it in a way that has so much heart and charm to it. And number 3 is Brian and Charles, and this was a joy to watch, and it kind of has a Wallace and Gromit feel to it. It's a tiny movie about a Welshman who builds his own robot out of a washing machine. It's goofy, it's silly, it's weird, it's everything I want from a British comedy. And it's a great comedy that is so heartwarming and fun, but it delivers that necessary emotion. So my runners up is The Woman King, and yes, it's not historically accurate, but I don't care. I just love this movie from beginning to end. A film like this reminds me how much I love going to the cinema and watching it on the big screen, and watching these African women warriors, their strength and their female solidarity is just emotional, whether they're dancing, supporting one another, fighting alongside each other. And this is an epic tale about these African women warriors. I mean, they get to highlight their strength, their skill, their hardship, and their beauty of themselves. So my favourite film of 2022 is Top Gun Maverick. I know it's an obvious choice, but I love this movie for so many reasons. I mean, it's one of those movies that why I love going to the cinema. It was great to see a big blockbuster that wasn't a comic book movie, a sci-fi movie, an animated movie, or part of some big franchise. The first Top Gun movie is an 80s classic, but this is superior in every way. Better characters, better character dynamics, better cinematography, the score, the music, the story, the writing. Tom Cruise is in his prime, and the flight sequences are just spectacular. They are sensational, and they were shot for real, and it tops any CGI of 2022. And I know the story is compact but yet simple, and it does take the trench run from Star Wars, but the way it was executed is just beautiful. And if Disney ever goes back to doing Star Wars Rogue Squadron, they need to take notes from Top Gun Maverick. And the reunion between Val Kilmer's Iceman and Tom Cruise's Maverick is easily my favourite movie scene of 2022. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, share and subscribe. What are your top 10 films of 2022? Go check out my Facebook, my Twitter and my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I've got your back.